So if you want to sing, go ahead.
No, thanks.
Hey,
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
That's the mic, is it? Yeah.
And it's not needed, so
It's not what?
needed, so people
No.
can.
Okay. And you're on camera too?
Mm-hmm.
Whole new world you used to, isn't it? Here, 1, 2, yeah.
Just hate it 'cause there's so many.
Yeah, no. Everyone's getting a moment.
Sorry. So,
I think it's one. Yeah, the rest.
You didn't get very many people?
Well, who knows?
Kind of hit and miss?
It's very, very.
Okay.
Oh. They're able to do it virtual, because
What's that?
they're able to do it virtual, so they don't have to do one.
Right.
Hey Karen,
yeah,
wasn't my paper shredder big enough, or paper folder?
Yes, money. I hate to say that. Just passing out paperwork.
yours was wonderful.
What's that?
Yours was wonderful, but we were afraid we wouldn't break it.
No, I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
Donna, how are you?
Good, hi Jack, how are
Hi,
you
Tracy.
doing?
Hey, how you doing, Jack?
Jamie, I'm all right. How are you?
You gave me one.
I did.
What's the big word? Christmas is coming. Yeah. Is it 4 months from today? Okay.
I think that's what I heard on the
Yeah, I
radio.
think you're right. We're not ready for that.
It's Jamie's turn to
What?
buy presents for everybody, so that's the good thing about
Christmas.
Oh.
You don't even
I
have to.
saw somebody put on Facebook how many, Sundays do it. I was like, what? I did put some of these out.
Oh, great,
In the lobby.
thank you.
I saw people picking them up.
All right, I brought another supply, I can bring to leave some more.
Oh, you might need help.
How are you?
Here. There you go. You slide that.
And you I got
Thank you.
Cameras are gonna get you.
darn thing.
Motion part of it. Is this in- That's this one. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. So we're not doing the burn ban retro? Tracy, we're not doing the burn ban retro?
I'm sorry.
We're doing the burn ban for tomorrow?
It'll have to have 48 hours notice, so
Thank
Thursday
you.
at noon, roughly is what we usually did. It started at noon. It'd be, the enforcement of it would be in effect.
Okay, excellent. Well, welcome, everybody. What do you think? Let's, let you guys get settled, and then we're gonna start the meeting with a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. All right, any unfinished business or correspondence, Karen?
I have nothing.
All right, excellent. All right, looking for motion to approve the minutes of the meeting dated August 11th, 2020 as presented.
Make that motion.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Bissell?
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to approve the invoices in the amount of $913,397 and 87 cents for the period August 12th through August 25th, 2020.
So,
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Bissell?
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to approve pending invoices in the amount of $749,939.54.
second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Bissell?
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion that the actual gross payroll in the amount of $245,337.98 be approved for payment for the period August 2nd through August 15th, 2020.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Bissell?
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion that the tentative gross payroll in the amount of $246,100 be approved for payment for period August 16th through August 29th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Motion carries. Any discussion? Already did that, or no? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Bissell?
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to award the construction contract number CDBG C19-01 Borough Big Run. It's the West Union Street paving project to the low bidder Quaker Sales Corporation, the amount of $41,855. This award is contingent upon the contractor fulfilling all contract requirements. In addition, this motion authorizes the chairman of the board of the county commissioners to execute all contract documents with Quaker Sales Corporation, including any change orders to the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? We did get an extra with this. We did receive 3 bids for the project, with Glendo Hub Baker bidding $70,045, Jefferson Paving bidding $49,629.50, and Quaker Sales Corporation bidding $41,855. Quaker Sales completed a similar CDBG project in Big Run and the work was completed satisfactorily. Therefore, the engineer recommends awarding this contract to Quaker Sales Corporation. All right, any further discussion? Call for vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Bullard?
Yes.
Mr. Sargent?
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, we would like to adopt resolution number 2020-04 proclaiming the month of September 2020 as Jefferson County Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month in Jefferson County.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Bullard?
Yes.
Mr. Sargent?
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to adopt resolution number 2020-05 imposing a 30-day burn ban in Jefferson County effective August 27th, 2020 at 12 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Tracy?
Good morning, thanks, Jack. At the request of our department and the county fire chiefs, the burn ban will be for a period of 30 days unless conditions improve where the ban may be lifted or may be extended throughout the fall part of the year. The ban prohibits the open burning of materials during the burn ban resolution, which is considered open burning is defined as ignition and subsequent burning of any combustible material such as garbage leaves, grass, twigs, litter, paper, vegetative matter involving with land clearing or any sort of debris out of doors, either in a burn barrel or on the ground. The use of propane or gas stoves, charcoal briquette grills, or the use of tobacco in any form is not covered under this act. Campfires are allowed in fire rings that confine and contain the campfire and designated state, federal, or in DCNR licensed campground. While there are enforcement measures associated with the resolution, it is not our intent to fine individuals who violate the burn ban, other to educate everyone of the potential dangers that we currently face if a fire gets out of control. It overtaxes our emergency service agencies, especially our volunteer firefighters, when these type of fires can be prevented. It also helps protect you, your family, and your neighbors from out of control fires. And this is mostly because of the current drought conditions, which I can either talk about that now or discuss that a little bit later in the meeting, whatever you wish here. So
You want to take a break or you want to keep going on the drought?
I can go for as long as you want me to.
Well,
Yeah.
half of what you want to go.
There you go. So right now, Jefferson County is listed in a drought category as a D1 category, which indicates that we're in a moderate drought status. Everyone can see how yards are browning and crop growth has stunned because surface water levels have declined. Wildfires and ground fires can increase at this time. And if you take a look at any of the leaf-bearing trees, as you see, their leaves are already starting to turn color. And it's not because of the normal fall season with the first frost and everything starts to turn, but from the lack of water to sustain leaf life. A lot of the reservoirs and lake levels are below normal capacity, and we've heard from our municipalities on their concerns, as well as from citizens who have indicated their wells are going dry and have to rely on water being hauled in. We also know that several of our fire companies are hauling water currently for people without water. Even though some of the areas seen rain over the weekend and we've seen some rain yesterday, the groundwater table is very low and most rain did nothing to replenish this deficiency. The county average in July of 2019 was 6.81 inches. For July of 2020, it was 3.29. Several years ago, we developed a drought task force that brought together stakeholders where plans were developed on how we were going to cope with current conditions. And if necessary, we'll reactivate that type of plan to move forward accordingly. So until conditions improve, we ask that this burn ban be put into effect and ask everyone's cooperation and to conserve water.
Thank you, Tracy. Any other discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Bullard?
Yes.
Motion- Sorry, a little early. Motion carries. All right, Donna Cooper, would you like the floor?
Oh, you bet.
Solid Waste Authority.
Good morning, and thank you for giving me a few minutes here. I wanted to go ahead and announce that we are following through with our electronics and household hazardous waste recycling collection, which also includes TVs. We had to cancel the one in, the glasses start fogging up. We had to cancel the one in May, so we're hoping that we'll have a good turnout. The company that we're working with is taking all kinds of precautions because of the pandemic. So it is for Jefferson County residents only. It will be held at the Goodwill parking lot. They've graciously given us the space, and they also provide a little bit of help too. So we really enjoy partnering with them for that. If anybody needs a flyer, please let me know here. On the flyer is a list of everything that we can take. This collection gives residents the opportunity to safely dispose of items that contain hazardous materials. So we hate to see it go into improper disposal options, and we like to keep it out of the landfill if we can. So that's another reason why we hold this collection. So computers, printers, copiers, fax machines, televisions, any kind of chemicals, household hazardous waste, all right? There is a charge though. So when you get there, what we do is we weigh the materials and then we charge it accordingly, which the fees are also on the flyer. And then you do have to register for it. That way, by registering it, it keeps the line flowing. So you can either do it online or you can do it by the phone. And again, that phone number is on the flyer. Regarding the drop-off recycling program, things seem to be going pretty well. Even during the pandemic, people are still recycling, which is great. We're actually 7 tons higher than what we were this time last year. So that's a good thing. That's the direction that we want to head. We also are at this time considering adding another site down to Sykesville. So we're hoping that goes through. We're kind of in the initial stages of that right now. And I do believe with their lack of curbside, it's going to actually help bring in more tonnage. So that's even another thing. And then I also gave you a couple flyers here. I have some extra ones if anybody wants them. The benefits of recycling, the Recycling Market Center, which was created by DEP, so it's a state agency. They have done, I believe this was using 2017 numbers. They did an economic and also an environmental impact study of what recycling benefits are for the statewide. So, I mean, the numbers are pretty impressive. If you look statewide, we've recycled as a whole almost 9.7 million tons, which is great. Jefferson County as a whole, in 2018, we recycled over 31,000 tons. So, I mean, so we're doing good. That's residents, businesses, and industry. It's also, schools and those kind of things too. But as far as the county impact, the greenhouse gas emissions saved by recycling those 31,000 tons is equivalent to removing 11,000 cars off the road on an annual basis. So they try to put it in things that you can kind of recognize. And then as far as carbon sequestered, it's equal to 60,000 acres of forest. And we know we have a lot of forest here. So, and then again, we're creating jobs in the county. It's either the hauling and the processing of the recyclables, or it's the manufacturing, such as Owens, Illinois, that's using the glass that's getting recycled. So there's a lot of benefit to recycling. We're always encouraging that people continue to do it. If you want any of the other additional information, the Solid Waste Authority is here to give you that information. We're also here to help businesses, residents, manage their waste, figure out what they can recycle, where to recycle. I bet my number one phone call though every day is, where do I get rid of old TVs? And that's another thing I wanted to add. Archives Management, which is in Brockport, they do shredding, for paper. I don't know if you're real familiar with them or not.
Absolutely.
So what they're doing now is they've teamed up with another electronics recycler, and they are accepting electronics and also televisions. So when we're not having the collection, there's some options there. Of course, they're going to charge. Their charges are going to probably be a little bit more than what is getting charged at the collection. But if you can't hold on to it, it's a great opportunity, and they'll even come to your door and pick up too. They'll charge a fee, but, you know, if somebody's moving out of the area, it's a great opportunity. If you can't recycle some of the stuff, you know, we can, Goodwill can accept, but they cannot take any kind of television or old monitor. So there's a few other options, you know, in the county for getting rid of this stuff, you know, outside of our collections in the spring and the fall. So if you have any questions, always available. It's between 9 and 1, and if all the time spots fill up, then we can stretch it a little bit more, but they try to be out of there, you know, by they try to be done by 2:30 at the latest. So they'll monitor it. If it looks like there's a big participation, they'll call me and say, okay, can we extend? So that's why we really don't advertise the hours, is because when you go in to register, you're clicking right on the time that you want to drop it off. So that helps people keep moving and they're not waiting a long time. All right. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Donna.
Mhm.
And we have some guests here, so would you like to take an opportunity to say a few things?
Yeah, I'm Paula Hanna, this is Chris Lazier and Stephanie Weaver. We're here today to present certified peer support services here in Jefferson County. We're gonna be in Clearfield County too. We're already in Clarion County, so we just wanna let everybody know that we're expanding into Jefferson with these certified peer support services. So,
Road to Recovery has served Clarion County since 2008. And like Paul had said, we just received the state approval to come into Jefferson and Cleveland counties. Certified peer support is, it's growing. In 2018, we received our confirmation to serve youth. So now we serve ages 14 to 150. So our youth program is growing because of the increased mental health in the schools. We have, since we've gotten the contract for Jefferson, we have met with the jail. We do forensic as well. So we're looking forward to working with the warden on that. And Brookville High School, we have met with them. But Chris can go into more of what the program consists of. He is actually the director. So.
Like Stephanie said, my name is Chris, and thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be here and present our services. So, peer support services and Road to Recovery, a lot of times when people hear the word recovery, they think of drug and alcohol, but recovery exists for mental health as well, and that's what we do. We do serve a co-occurring diagnosed population, so you know it is drug and alcohol as well, but to be eligible for our services, you must have a mental health diagnosis, a serious emotional disturbance, something along those lines, something like anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, bipolar, those types of things. And so what we do is we come alongside folks who have been referred to our program, and you have to be referred through somebody, a doctor of the healing arts, as they say, has to sign off on your referral. So that could be a general practitioner, that could be a psychiatrist, that could be a certified registered nurse practitioner as well. It can't be just a counselor or it can't be a psychologist or a counselor. It has to be a doctor level, doctor's level personnel. And so when we get the referral, what we'll do is we'll go out and meet with the peer. We call them peers because that's what we are. We're coming alongside them and saying, hey, we've been there. We employ folks who have a background in recovery from mental health. And so we help them to establish goals, and that could be anything in the 5 different domains that we serve. And the 5 domains are living, learning, working, social, and self-maintenance. And so we're gonna meet with them around their diagnosis and how that diagnosis interferes with those 5 domains in their life. And so we help them to set goals based on their diagnosis. It could be anything from learning more about their diagnosis. It could be coping with their diagnosis. It could be to get a job or to get new housing. So peer support, like Stephanie said, is growing. It's becoming more and more recognized, and it is evidence-based. It's been known to keep folks out of the hospital, out of inpatient. It's been known to increase employment and housing. successful housing. Hopefully it decreases the crime rate and recidivism rates. And so we're happy to have the opportunity to begin services here in Jefferson County. We're looking forward to helping the residents become more engaged in the community. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, welcome. Congratulations. And,
Thank you.
Thank you.
serving our citizens. Hope you have lots of success. All right. Open the floor to anything from the auditors. All right, open the floor to, go ahead, Tracy.
I just have a couple other real quick things. I just want to kind of let everyone know that we're currently monitoring the movement of the 2 tropical storm systems that are in the Gulf right now. And while it's important to, or while it's quite a ways away, it's important to kind of talk about a little bit. As you know, Tropical Storm Laura was slated to be just a Category 1 hurricane. They're now predicting it to be a Category 3 by the time it hits landfall on Thursday, with winds of 115 mile an hour and gusts up to 138. Margot seems to be dying off, but there's still a lot of moisture that can be picked up from Laura from it. Long story short, slated that the cone for where the track of Laura is going to come up across southwestern and western Pennsylvania sometime between Saturday and Sunday, with the northern part of the cone coming through our area with the potential for some significant rain. If it's a good soaking rain, it'll be very, very beneficial to our drought status. However, if it's a heavy downpour, it can lead to some flash flooding and runoff, causing some issues. So we just want to make sure everybody keeps monitoring the weather conditions into the weekend and plan accordingly. And last thing, I just want to talk a little bit about our COVID-related issues here within the county. There still seems to be a lot of hang-ups with numbers and whatever. So I wanted to try to break it down real quick so everybody kind of understands things a little bit. So when you look at the current cumulative numbers, it shows that we have 94 cases within the county. And this includes both the confirmed and probable cases. Active cases as of today are around 44. And this is based on the assumption of cases that are over 30 days old, that the Department of Health is using that assumption. There's been a total of 2,754 tests that have been completed that have come back negative on the virus. So while our positivity rate is still very low based on our population, it's also still important to remember that the virus still is among us. We're asking everyone to continue to practice the good mitigation measures, washing hands, utilizing hand sanitizers, and to practice the 6 feet social distancing when able to. And while we know that there's people that have reservations about wearing the mask, keep in mind that they do help keep the spread of any germs down during this unprecedented time. Wearing a mask or a face shield or any type of facial covering will help keep everyone safe. We know everyone has special concerns or needs, and we can appreciate that. We just want everybody to be careful when out and about, because before long we'll be going into the typical flu season, and this will only compound some of the issues. Our schools are opening up this week, and we want to continue to work with all our districts to make sure that our students have a safe learning experience going forward. The level of community transmission in the county determines in part the recommended instructional model for our schools, and it's a 3-tier category model ranging from low, moderate to substantial. Currently, Jefferson County is in the low at this time with a PCR percent positivity rate of 1.3%, which is really good because the average is anywhere between 3 and 4% right now across the Commonwealth. So I just ask everyone to continue to do your part to keep the spread as low as possible within the county. And just to close, we have a great team working on this response, from our county commissioners to our municipalities, our first responders, hospitals, our COVID task force stakeholders, county department row officers, our emergency operations staff, volunteers, and most importantly, to the men and women working at the Department of Emergency Service every day. I can't thank all of you and all of them enough for their dedication and commitment. So thank you.
Thanks, Tracy. Appreciate all the work you're doing and your staff. All right, a couple of announcements. All county offices will be closed for Monday, September 7th, 2020, in observance of the Labor Day. And then next commissioner meeting is the following day, September 8th, at Jefferson Place. Any public comments at the time?
I have a question for Tracy regarding his report.
Sure.
Insofar as statistics, you mentioned 44 active cases in Jefferson County. What constitutes an active case, and how long is a case determined to be active, and how is it removed? Is it just a time period? Or what?
Through the guidance from the Department of Health, they're saying that any case that's been reported from the date tested. So like if you were tested today and you were determined to have the virus, or you had the antibodies that you had the probable virus, if it passes that 30-day benchmark, they don't consider that an active case anymore. So, so basically taking the numbers from today, which would be August 25th, backtracking to July 25th, those cases, according to what the Department of Health standards have given us, are no longer an active case. They're still showing a case that occurred within a county, but they're
So I hope you don't mind me. I want to be clear on it.
sure,
So
absolutely.
with what you said, then the state is monitoring those 44, that 44 number, for example. They have a name attached to each one and a date that it was reported as active.
That's correct.
And at the end of 30 days, for whatever reason, they drop that case.
Well, the case is never dropped. It's still on that cumulative list from day one, but they don't consider that as an active case
So
at
it's
this
dropped
time.
in the active list.
Correct. Because during the time that it's active, they're doing their contact tracing to see who that, if you were with someone else, whatever, to have them tested, whatever. So they're doing all those things within that parameter.
But it's simply a time frame that removes a case from active to inactive.
From what the Department of Health is
And as
giving
the
us.
days go on, when a case is reported
Mhm.
to the Department of Health from some legitimate source, a doctor, a hospital, whatever.
Right.
Then they add a case.
Correct.
30 days, they can remove it to inactive.
Right. There's
Thank you.
there's a lot of data that's being put out there, and there's a lot of data that's being put out by multiple sources, and to try to figure out which is more accurate or whatever, we follow that Department of Health information. We have seen some discrepancies ourselves, and we've been able to get those corrected, but by far that's who we have to look at, because we don't have a health department within the county, and they act as our health department for us. So if that makes any sense.
Well, it makes sense. It's just that the statistics themselves don't seem very valuable.
And that's where I said at the
But you
beginning.
have to have something, I understand that.
Right.
You have to have something.
And that's where I said at the beginning of my report there, we don't focus solely on those numbers, okay? But where that percent positivity rate is of who's being infected, whatever, those are what's, to me, is more important, that we know where the spread is within the county. And again, you may be tested and you may have the antibodies through the serology test, but you may not have any signs or symptoms whatsoever. So you could be carrying the virus, but don't know you're carrying that virus, unless you get tested. So yeah, I probably learned more about COVID than I really wanted to in this late in my career, but we're just going to continue to do what we can to make sure everybody's safe. So
Are these
And we have
broken down into zip codes?
I'm sorry.
Are they broken down into zip codes? Or just
The
whole
Department of Health does report that by zip code on their website. We get the actual address of the individual or where it's occurred at, but we don't share that. We keep that for our first responder community. If they're going into a situation like that for their protection, we can let them know. And by screening that on the callers calling into 911 too, we know that information from them for whether it's positive or a presumptive case.
Thank you. I have one more question from Nick LaBelle at the Punxsutawney Spirit. He asks, all right, this is cool. He said Commissioner Pasarchik said he has to ask something that's fun at the end of the meeting. So his question is, how's everyone doing, and has anyone done anything fun? Yeah, so how is everyone? All right.
We're doing
We're all
good.
healthy. We're all healthy and we're all here, so hope that's.
And summer's over, there's no more fun.
And Christmas is 4 months away.
Thanks.
Has any Christmas decorations been up yet? Any sightings yet?
Maybe.
Well, thank you, Nick. Hopefully we answered your question. Yeah, hopefully you're doing well too, Nick. Everyone stay safe out there, be well. I don't see anything else on the agenda, so looking for a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes,
Mr. Bullard?
Yes.
motion carries. Do we need to sign these resolutions or these come by already?
I
How have you been?
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, trying to dodge all the